Chapter 11. Mr. Roberts, McQueen waved Travis into his office. You made my day just by showing. Did you bring the... Oh, good, you brought it. Here, give it to me. Take a seat. McQueen opened the Fox book, paged ahead, and started reading. Travis stared at him, his heart pounding in his throat. Wait, he said. McQueen paused and looked up, his eyeballs raised. I thought you were going to teach me to read. I am. But you're just reading to me. Well, I thought you liked this story. I do, but are you a teacher, Travis? Travis shook his head no. Have you been able to teach yourself to read? Again, no. Okay then, you're just going to have to trust me on this. You want to learn, I want to teach. Sit back and relax. Listen to every word. No spacing out. McQueen's voice took Travis back to the swamp, and slowly his heart settled down. The fox got jumped by a wildcat in the swamp and got away. A blizzard raged around him and he caught a whiff of chickens from a nearby farm, and the first bell rang and McQueen stopped reading. So, do you like it? Travis nodded. Me too, we're on page 12. He handed the book across the desk. When you come to reading, bring this and a pencil. Start on page 1 and circle every word you don't know. But I'll mess up your book. Can I give you 6 oceans of how much I don't care about a few marks in that book? Said McQueen. But use a pencil, not a pen. So, I circle every word I don't know? That's right, every one. I'm here Mondays and Wednesdays and Fridays before school. Come early any of those days. The more often you come, the faster you'll learn. Go on now, or you'll be late for first period. Travis wove his way through the noisy hall. What if it could really work? Mrs. Keatley never told him to circle words. Maybe McQueen knew what he was doing. Velveeta was already in her seat in Miss Gordon's room. A smile, she said, throwing her arms wide. With teeth, does that mean I'm not bugging you too much right now? Where were you Friday? He turned sideways in his seat. I took a little Velveeta time. Did you miss me? Yes. And you're sorry for saying I was bugging you? Travis tried to decide if he was or not. He wanted her to quit bugging him about the project, but not about anything else. Okay, she whispered. Don't waste a word on it. Just nod in your head yes, if you'll be forgiven. He dipped his head. That'll do for now. I'm going to do my brilliant skit without you, unless you beg me to let you in. Miss Gordon started class, a full period of presentations. Neither Travis nor Velveeta got called to go. Kids pointed at posters they'd made and droned on about timelines. Velveeta poked Travis in the back of the neck after each one and said, See? Boring. Travis didn't pay any attention to the presentations, though. His fingers itched to open the Fox book and circle words. I can do that, he told the unsmiling Mrs. Keatley in his mind. I can do it exactly right. Travis carried the book with him all morning until he finally got to fourth period. He opened to the first page, pulled the book close, and covered it with his hand so nobody could see what he was doing. Just to be fair, he circled the word chapter, even though he knew it said chapter, because if it wasn't at the top of the page, he probably wouldn't have known. He closed his eyes to see if he could bring back McQueen's voice reading the chapter title and match it to the print on the page. Started with R. He tried to make the word something he knew. Just circle the words. McQueen came up behind Travis with a hand on his shoulder and a whisper in his ear. Don't try to figure them out, just circle. Travis circled the R word. He went on to sneak 41 circles on that page, dipped his pencil in for a quick mark, and then acting like he just happened to be holding it while he read. He'd circle another 11 on the next page by the time the bell rang for lunch. He sat down across from Velveeta and she slammed a thick book shut. Whew! Nick of time, Trevicius. You saved me from this crazy book. McQueen said I have to get up to page 100 by Monday or he'll flunk me. I think that's blackmail, or maybe it's extortion. Either way, I'm sure it's not legal, and besides, this is sicko. It's all about death. Hey, what's with Whistle Stop? Bradley Whistler stood about 10 steps away, staring at them. Whistle Stop, what are you looking at? Yelled Velveeta. Bradley scuttled over and stood behind Travis. Can I eat lunch with you? Why for, Mr. Whistler? Said Velveeta. You doing some kind of study on the lower class? Never mind. No, wait. Velveeta waved her hands. Relax, sit down. You're just worried about Travis there, aren't you? He thinks you're cute. He told me so. But don't worry, I'll keep him off you. Lying, said Travis out of the side of his mouth as Bradley sat next to him. I know, said Bradley. Open that pretty purple lunchbox, said Velveeta. Let's see what you've got to share. Bradley tore loose the Velcro on his purple-sided box and pulled out a Tupperware container. What's that? Asked Velveeta. He popped the lid and showed them a mix of pasta, dark green leaves, and orange chunks. It's something my mom makes. It's got spinach and squash and pine nuts. It's good. You want some? Are you kidding? Said Velveeta, holding out her plate. Of course I do. Bradley turned to Travis, who shook his head. He'd rather stick with his safe mashed potatoes and chicken. My God, Bradley, said Velveeta after her first bite. Do they feed you like this every day? No wonder you always look so healthy and bright-eyed. Why are you sitting with us? Are you here to tutor us in math? No, I just thought I'd, sit by you. I never told you this, Bradley, but you know who you remind me of? Haley Joel Osment, the I See Dead People kid from Sixth Sense. Have either of you seen it? Travis and Bradley both shook their heads. Wasteland, said Velveeta to the ceiling. I could have been born anywhere in the world, and I live someplace where nobody knows Shyamalan. Who is that? Asked Bradley. M. Night Shyamalan. I think I said that right. He's a writer and director. He's done a bunch of movies. Sixth Sense is my favorite, but I also like Wide Awake because you can see how he was trying out ideas in that, and then he tweaked them around for popular appeal, and bingo, Sixth Sense, a blockbuster. Well, how do you know all that? Asked Travis. I don't know. It's what I know. We all have something we know, except for Bradley there. He's Smarty McSmarty Pants. He knows everything we know and everything else, too. No, I don't, said Bradley. I don't know anything about M. Night Shyamalan, whatever you said. I watch plenty of movies, but I don't pay attention to who wrote and directed them. Someone must have taught you about that. Velveeta raised her eyebrows as high as they go. Wow, Bradley, that is very insightful. Maybe you should be a therapist. The bell rang, and Bradley scooped up the last of his lunch. Sit with us, Bradley, said Velveeta. Bring us more of your fancy food. It'll be fun. Bradley looked at Travis like he was in charge. Travis shrugged and said, sure, why not? Velveeta on Monday. Okay, so Bradley and I have been in school together since kindergarten. That's the first time he's ever talked to me on purpose. I had to show off and bring up Shyamalan. I wanted him to know I'm not a total idiot. Why do I care? I guess because I think he's kind of fascinating. Besides being off the charts smart, he's A, the only black kid in our school, B, an unbelievable dork, C, the shortest of the shorties, D, really bad at sports, and E, still alive. Not only still alive, but not squished. Last year, Chad and Mike sat him on the water fountain. If anyone did that to me, I'd leave for the day. But Bradley walked around with wet pants and explained over and over that it was drinking fountain water and not pee. Honestly, I don't know how he survives. Must be the spinach and pine nuts. Maybe if I got fed that kind of food every day, I'd be more like Bradley. Maybe I'd do my homework and get smart instead of using my science notebook to write to a dead guy.